And welcome to my YouTube page, Black Dragon National President. Today, we're going to talk about 10 situations that could arise which could cause the one percenters to come and take your cut.
Nothing tops your cut. Nothing tops your cut. Nothing tops your cut.
Into the Black Dragon and listen to his knowledge. This is Biker 101, and he's professor to the college. Posting up videos on YouTube, coming directly to you, showing you the ins and outs and what not to do.
We all saw that disturbing video. Quite frightening, wasn't it? Some poor bloke overseas, pulled over on the side of the road or something, having the colors cut off of his vest by a 1% motorcycle club that wasn't messing around. This can happen to you. It happens all the time. And whereas some of my colleagues out there who make these videos posted videos saying, hell yeah, I love to see that when it happens, I really didn't see too many people talk about the reasons that it can happen to you. And what are things that can make those triggers be pulled in such a way that you're having that terrifying confrontation with a full-fledged 1% dominant motorcycle club at a gas station, or the bar, or a bike festival, or someplace where you really weren't expecting to see them, and you certainly didn't expect that they'd be cutting your cut off. And a lot of this happens because people make just stupid decisions. Stupid decisions because a lot of times they just don't know any better. It blows some of us away to think, how could you be on the motorcycle set and not know some of these things? But a lot of people don't know. Some people are new to the set. Some people are in areas that don't have much exposure. And some people just, their eyes aren't open. They make these crazy kind of mistakes. And then others of you are a little different. You test the waters. You push the waters almost to the point of no return. Like somehow dealing with these one percenters in a negative way is going to prove to be prosperous for you. Like, what are you thinking? I liken it to somebody who walks out into the jungle with a roll of toilet paper into the lion's territory. And they walk out with this toilet paper as though this is going to protect them. And they lay down on the ground in front of the mighty lion. And as it creeps up on them, they pop up with this roll of toilet paper and hold it up to threaten that lion. And they actually think that this roll of toilet paper is going to back down a mighty lion. And that's crazy. Nobody does that. Do they?
This is what we've been looking for.
Here we've got both these lions pretty relaxed under the bush. They focused on me. Definitely haven't gone to sleep. So what I'm going to do is sneak out this side of the car, keeping my body hidden behind the vehicle. Once I realize that they're completely relaxed with me outside the car, I'm going to get down on all fours and crawl towards them. And that should create some interest. There's no written recipe on how to approach lions on all fours. So for you folks back at home, don't try this.
Can it go? Mike carries no firearm. Nor does anyone else in the group. If the lion rushes Mike now, he has absolutely no chance of making it back to the vehicle. The slight lashing of the tail indicates sensitivity to a possible threat. Mike has spoken of floating over the edge of the lion's comfort zone. Whether he can exit safely is another matter.
You can imagine that you can threaten the king of beasts with a toilet roll, and that's simply not to knock him out with or...
Bad analogy. Because the problem is, when you do get away with those small things, you start encroaching and going bigger and bigger. When you get away with something, or when you get by with something that is so impossible to believe that you got by with, you tend to get bolder and bolder and make bolder and bolder steps until such time as it doesn't work for you. And you sit around and wonder why. What mostly happens when you go into the lion's den and you're not supposed to is you get ate. Like that. A commanding officer I once served under in the submarine Navy, named Captain Raz, used to always say, "We all deserve the right to get smarter later. However, that being said, the stupid will be punished." The stupid will be punished. The stupid will be punished. What does that mean, the stupid will be punished? It's kind of like that saying, ignorance of the law is no excuse. Just because you don't know that something is against the law, I didn't know murder was against the law. Yeah, but you committed murder, so ignorance of the law is no excuse. The stupid shall be punished. And a lot of times, people do stupid things. You see it in the wild all the time. The gazelles are all running together in a pack. One gazelle decides that he's going to leave the herd and go over and get a drink of water all by himself. Yes, you can make mistakes. And a lot of times, you don't have to suffer for them. But still, the stupid can be punished. So if you learn protocol and you follow protocol, it alleviates a lot of trouble. It keeps you away from that confrontation at the gas pump. And that confrontation can be quite terrible. It can be one of the most dangerous times of your MC career. Many people have died at the gas pump. Many people have been hurt or injured. The guys you're dealing with are going to be there, meaning business. They're not going to be messing around. They will be deadly serious about demonstrating their commitment to the 1%er lifestyle. And you might wind up being asked to take off your cut. And how you respond to that will determine how the rest of the day goes. I've read articles as of late where a 1% dominant motorcycle club requested some guys to take off their colors at the gas pump, and the guys refused. Went in the store. When one guy came back out, he was put on his knees and his brains were blown out. These kinds of things happen. It's incumbent upon you to know that these kinds of things can happen to you. So I decided to put down 10 things that could get your cut taken, and these are things that you can avoid simply by following a little protocol and handling things before they get to a situation where you'll have to defend your life. So these are 10 things I put down, and this is not an all-encompassing list by any means. There are more things than this, but here are 10 things you might consider. Thing 1, not receiving a proper blessing for the territory you are in. That seems like an easy one, but people just sometimes don't get it. If you want to start a motorcycle club in an area, you will need to obtain a blessing from a 1% motorcycle club or an MC coalition. To fail to do so is to invite an encounter. It is to invite a confrontation. That confrontation might come today or tomorrow or 3 years from now. But if you have colors that are not blessed, you are in for a confrontation. I had one reader write to me, Black Dragon, I want to start a motorcycle club, and I'm listening to your videos and looking at your videos, and you say that we need to get a blessing, and my dad said that's not true. We don't need a blessing. Your dad's wrong. If you want to avoid confrontation, you'll go get your blessing. Thing 2, not getting permission to pass through territory or visit. So a lot of times you might not know the lay of the land in the area that you're going to. Your aunt lives there, you haven't seen her in about 17 years, and you want to go hang out, and you're going to be there about 3 weeks, and you want to wear your colors. Hang out at the bars and hang out with bikers. But there could be tension in that area, and there could be trouble with new clubs coming in. One of the things that you can do before you get there or before you travel through or pass through a territory is call ahead to the local coalition and make sure that your colors are granted a pass in that area. Nothing like being able to give someone a phone number and a contact person to call when they pull you over and question the legitimacy of your colors. It's a small step that's easy to take and can save you a lot of time and hassle out there on the road. Number 3, claiming the wrong territory on your colors. I remember a long time ago, maybe 25 years ago, when I was in San Diego and there was a small club there, they decided they would put California rockers on their cuts. They honestly didn't know any better. Remember, the stupid shall be punished? While they were in San Diego, nobody really noticed or even cared. But when they left San Diego and they went over to, I believe it was Las Vegas, there they ran into a very notorious 1% motorcycle club when they were eating at a restaurant. The club came up to them and said, hey, we've made a few calls to California and nobody recognizes that you're supposed to be wearing that California rocker. Took those guys by complete surprise. They had no idea that they had made a mistake, but they could tell by the attitude of that 1% motorcycle club that to not remove those colors at that time would create a situation for them that would be confrontational. So they made the wise choice, removed their cuts, and went back home and got educated. That was a harmless situation, but it doesn't always go like that. I've seen situations where motorcycle clubs thought they were doing the right thing. For instance, they put together their new cut in an area that they've been recently blessed in without realizing that in this area they don't let you put the city on your back. They have some other designation that they want you to wear. So it's best to get those things ironed out beforehand, so that you're not confronted with them while standing at the gas pump. Number 4, wearing the support patch of the wrong dominant in the wrong area during time of war or conflict. Well, as you can imagine, if you're a 99%er with a support patch on, it behooves you to be aware of what's going on the set where your dominant is concerned. When you're getting ready to travel, you may want to call them and ask them, are there any troubles in any areas that you're going to be in? This will keep you out of that situation where you're facing down a hostile 1% motorcycle club bent on taking your colors. Number 5, opening a new chapter without a blessing. So we talk a lot about opening new motorcycle clubs without a blessing, but sometimes when you have several chapters up and running, you might make the mistake of opening up another chapter somewhere in that same state maybe, and you didn't think that you needed a blessing to do so. In most areas, even opening up new chapters requires a blessing. So putting your guys into a new area, and even in the same state, without getting that blessing, could result in the dominant showing up and demanding that chapter's patches and cuts because proper MC protocol was not followed to start that chapter. Number 6, wearing some kind of quirky television show motorcycle club cut. And of course, we always think of Sons of Anarchy, but there are others, and there will be others. And people will always go out and get that memorabilia and wear it around. Just a word of warning to the wise. Don't wear that stuff to biker rallies or biker bars or any place a motorcycle club may show up. and certainly don't wear that stuff when you're riding your motorcycle. Some of the stuff is cool, but the thing you gotta know about this is anything that says MC on it and has a bottom rocker should be avoided like the plague. Guys just don't understand that, and they get upset, and so many guys feel like it's stolen valor, and they feel upset if you would ride a motorcycle to an event or go to an event where bikers and motorcycle club members hang out and you're wearing that kind of stuff. It can get taken every time, so avoid that confrontation like the plague. Number 7, attempting to use an old or abandoned motorcycle club's colors to come back on the set to avoid coalitions or the will of the dominant. So I've seen this before where people think, well, I can't get my motorcycle club blessed, I can't get started. Oh, I know the founders of the BB Boys MC over there. They haven't been riding for 30 years. I'll go track the founder down and get permission to put on those colors and come back out as a new chapter. Or just refresh the old chapter with my new guys. But that stuff just hardly ever works because everybody knows that club hasn't been riding for 25 years. So all you do is put yourself in a position where you can get your colors taken. If you're going to bring that club back out, you've got to announce it to the council and still follow the protocol, whatever their protocols are for bringing that club back on the set. Number 8, attempting to wear a patch that doesn't claim territory at all. So a lot of guys, to get around this whole thing, they say, you know what? We're going to make a motorcycle club and we're just not going to put a territory on it, and now we just don't have to go through anybody. Wrong. A patch with no territory that says MC on it is a Nomad patch. And in most places, only 1%ers are allowed to wear Nomad patches. You could find yourself surrounded by that MC, demanding to know who you are and why you're in their area without a territory listed, and get your colors taken. Number 9, setting up a riding club patch that looks too much like a motorcycle club patch. So this also goes with how a riding club behaves. Some people have found it so hard to get on the motorcycle set with a motorcycle club that they open up a riding club and try to ride on the motorcycle set just like a motorcycle club. And that's a good way to get yourself pulled over and your colors taken. Listen, if you're going to quack like a duck, walk like a duck, and act like a duck, motorcycle club dominants are going to consider you a duck. So when you're acting like a motorcycle club or looking like a motorcycle club or looking too much like a motorcycle club, expect that you might be treated like a motorcycle club. Well, those are my 10 things. Not receiving a proper blessing for the territory you are in, not getting permission to pass through a territory or visit, claiming the wrong territory on your colors, wearing the support patch of the wrong dominant at the wrong place during time of war or crisis, opening up a new chapter without the proper blessing, wearing some kind of quirky cut like the Sons of Anarchy Motorcycle Club, trying to bring an old or abandoned MC back online without going through the proper protocol, wearing a patch that doesn't claim territory at all, or setting up an RC patch that looks too much like an MC patch and making your RC act too much like an MC. Well, listen, it's been great talking to you all and visiting with you this afternoon. Be sure to check out my latest book titles, Prospects Bible, that's been on the market for 2.5 years, going on 3 years, #1 bestseller most of that time. Prospects Bible for Women's Motorcycle Clubs, Public Relations Officer's Bible, How to Manage the Reputation of Your Motorcycle Club, and of course the Sergeant at Arms Bible, Soldier Sergeant of the Motorcycle Club. You can also see my latest e-zine articles, which are free, at ezine.com. Look up Black Dragon. Also, you'll find it in the About section, links to my latest e-zine articles, or in the description section of this video. I really thank you for watching, hanging out with me, and spending a little bit of time, and we'll do this again very soon. Have a great day, be safe,